the chairman of this occasion, our Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Naji, the Pro-Chancellor and the Chairman of the Governing Council, Deputy Vice Chancellors here present, Principal Officers, the Senates, Deans and Directors, HODs, the congregation of Bayero University Kano, my colleagues, the Chairman, Presidential Implementation Committee on Technology Transfer, parents, my father and my siblings here present, graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be with you at the graduation ceremony of the Bayero University Kano, famously known as BUK. This is a homecoming for me. Kano is not only my hometown, it also happens to feature as a very significant place in my personal story. I was born in Kano, attended primary and secondary school here, specifically Rainbow Primary School, St. Thomas Catholic School, and Prem College. And I learned my first businesses and entrepreneurship lessons here in Kano. Even though I did not attend BUK, it is an institution that is very dear to my heart. It is therefore very gratifying for me that this morning I performed a groundbreaking of a brand new institute that the agency I'm privileged to lead, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, is donating to this great university, the Naseni Sustainable and Emerging Technology Institute, also known as SETI. I am deeply honored for the privilege of being this year's Convocation lecturer. My nomination for the task was weighty for someone my age and experience to present a lecture before the Knowledge Society consisting of erudite scholars, technocrats, policymakers, astute politicians, and my fellow students of learning. But my instincts of self-determination and entrepreneurship persuaded me to consider the opportunity as part of a learning experience. Mr. Chairman, this lecture comes at the time when our dear country is debating and calibrating policies that will put the nation on a trajectory of sustainable socio-economic development. The event coincides with my current status as the Chief Executive of one of the most important agencies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Naseni, the only of such institutes chaired by the President of the country. As a product of entrepreneurial struggle all my postgraduate life, I find the topic of the lecture, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, a Pathway to National Development, quite apt. In this lecture, I will make an effort to provide a treatise on the concept of innovation and entrepreneurship, I&E, review of policy evolution of the states of I&E in governance in Nigeria, as well as global trends. I will further attempt to profile recommendations aimed at eliciting further debate towards policy enactment and recalibrating the context of Nigeria's socio-economic ecosystem. First, we'll start with the Nigerian context, the challenges. The UNDP Human Development Index has classified Nigeria amongst the world's lower middle-income economies. The population of Nigeria is estimated at 216 million and is projected to reach 264.1 by 2030, and further to the 332 million by 2050, becoming the world's fourth most populous country. Nigeria has one of the youngest population in the world. About 42% of Nigeria's population is younger than 15 years old. The young age dependency ratio is 82%, while the old is 5.2. Nigeria's employment to population ratio is 51.3. and the proportion of the labor force population ages 15 years and above that is not paid employment or self-employed, but is also available to work and has taken steps to seek paid employment or self-employment is 13%. People in the age range between 15 to 24 who are not in employment or in education or training constitute 20%, which at a head count of 44 million. Child labor is proportionately 31.5% of children ages between 5 and 11. The share of working poor at $3 a day in purchasing power parity terms expressed as a percentage of the total employee population of 15 and the older is 71.7. Proportion of Nigeria's population living below the national income poverty line is 46%, while 53% is living below the global poverty benchmark of PPP $1.9 a day. Multidimensional poverty index, which determines the extent to which of poverty resulting to multiple deprivations related income, nutrition, healthcare, and education account for 52%, of which 32.7% of the population is in severe multidimensional poverty. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, what comes to mind from the foregoing indices are fundamental questions as follows. How will the country harness the potential of its burgeoning population in order to reap demographic dividends and boost economic development? And how do we produce a generation of future leaders and skilled manpower equipped with the requisite capacity to navigate the country to the fourth industrial revolution? These questions inter alia could largely be answered through the topic of the day. Understanding innovation and entrepreneurship. Oslo's manual defines innovation as a new or improved product or process or a combination that differs significantly from the unit's previous products or processes and that has been made available to potential users or brought into use by the units. The term unit describes the actor responsible for innovations. It refers to any institution in any sector, including household and their individual members. Innovation is largely driven by research and experiment development, R&D activities, engineering, design, and other creative work activities, marketing and brand equity activities, IP-related activities, employee training, software development, and database activities. Activities related to acquisition or lease of tangible assets and innovation management activities. While the classical metrics of measuring innovative performance entails using patents, trademarks, R&D, inputs, and other secondary indicators such as publications or citation, the Global Index employs 78 metrics in evaluating the innovation status and competitiveness of nations. Innovation is based on human advancement and central to improvement in living standards and can affect individuals, institutions, entire economic sectors, countries, and entire global world in multiple ways. Entrepreneurship entails the dynamic process of identifying economic opportunities and acting upon them by developing, producing, and selling goods and services. Entrepreneurship is the willingness to take risk with new or innovative ideas to generate new products or services. Entrepreneurship is broadly categorized into small businesses, scalable startups, large company, and so on. Since the foregoing centuries may not strictly require innovation for take-up, several experts consider innovative entrepreneurship as a distinct category. The relationship between innovation and entrepreneurship could be established from the difference between invention and innovation. While invention entails the development of a verified novel product or process, innovation requires further development of such novel entities to a new product at market and end user level. Entrepreneurship is the link between invention and innovation. Thus, it is the process of translating invention into innovations. Entrepreneurial activities are a pivotal component in the process of economic development at all nations through jobs creation, fostering innovation and improvement in productivity. Entrepreneurs are the tools of economic dynamism of which their activity has direct impact on living conditions. The World Bank Entrepreneurship Database has established a direct correlation between entrepreneurial activity and the economic prosperities of nations. High economies have 3 and 13-fold higher entrepreneurial density than lower, middle income, and low income states respectively. Policies and institutions for entrepreneurship development in Nigeria. Entrepreneurship is an integral part of evolution in Nigeria's socio-economic policies. Government at all levels, private individuals, philanthropists, civil society organizations, and development partners have been investing in entrepreneurship development in Nigeria, realizing the link between unemployment, particularly that of youth, and national security, evident from the violent conflicts that plague our nation. More dedicated policies and institutions were created. Mr. Chairman, permit me to provide a brief review of policies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in this sector in the last decade. The year 2015 coincided with the enthronement of the APC-led government. The new government, PDP-led government. The new government inherited a country in a dire situation in which majority were under the burden of poverty, inequality, unemployment, stubborn militant insurgency, and an alarming number of internally displaced persons. The overall economy was suboptimally productive, exacerbated by decline in crude oil prices. The federal government of Nigeria, through Ministry of Budget and National Planning, published Economic Recovery and Growth Plan (ERGP), a policy document intended to address the foregoing challenges and redirect the national economy alongside sustainable trajectory. The ERGP has identified social inclusion, job creation, and youth empowerment among priority areas. The FGN rolled out a comprehensive national social investment program. This program was anchored through a $500 million International Development Association (IDA) credit by the World Bank as a counterpart funding to the 1.3 billion be provided by the Nigerian government through budgetary process. And envisioned by ERGP, NSIP rolled out a program targeted at reducing poverty and inequality, improving nutrition and healthcare, more access to education, as well as youth employment and social support operations. Specifically, the following entrepreneurship-related social safety net programs were introduced. Number 1, the conditional and unconditional cash transfer, which are programs directed at supporting the most vulnerable and poorest Nigerians through direct monthly cash transfer of 5,000 implemented at state level. This is aimed at elevating poverty and skill acquisition for beneficiaries towards being self-reliant. The Empower Job Creation Scheme targeted 500,000 unemployed Nigerian graduates receiving orientation and life skills training over a period of 24 months with a monthly stipend of 30,000 naira and engage additional 1.5 million youths through public workfare. The Homegrown School Feeding Program provided basic nutrition needs for primary pupils with attended multiplier effects of creating employment and supporting agricultural production in local communities. The General Enterprise and Empowerment Program (GEP) is a zero-interest, 5% administrative fee loan scheme through the Bank of Industry, targeting Nigerian artisans, traders, markets, men and women, as well as women cooperatives. The Federal Government of Nigeria also launched a series of programs related to agripreneurship that facilitated training and access in financing, including the Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme (CACS), and the Anchor Borrowing Program, and the Nigerian Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending (NISAL). The foregoing programs were all in addition to the enhanced supports provided by statutory institutions such as National Directorate of Employment (NDE), Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency (SMEDAN), National Board for Technology Incubation, National Information Technology Development Agency (NIDA), Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC), as well as other various institutions within the sector. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, you'll agree with me that this investment is enormous. It was a reflection of bold political will and the commitment of government in addressing socio-economic challenges facing the nation. The World Bank Entrepreneurial Database is a metric that looks at entrepreneurship in the formal sector, measure new businesses density (NDB) for countries on an annual basis. The MBD is evaluated as the number of newly registered private companies with limited liability per 1,000 working age group people. It is the index that enables comparison of trends to the farm creation, the relationship between entrepreneur and the business environment of the nation. The data on Nigeria 2015-2022 from this source indicated that Nigeria increased in NDB from 0.72 to 1.16, a reflection of the impact of the concerted policies of the government. However, wide disparity exists between the Nigeria's NBD for 2022, which is 1.16, to the average of the lower middle income countries, which is 2.1, to which Nigeria belongs. On the basis of this data, one can arguably conclude that the quantum of government investment is not commensurate to the outcome. This view could further be supported by low human development incidents recorded for the same period, challenges related to COVID-19 pandemic, unfavorable business conditions or environment, preponderance of informal businesses, unprofessional management by the responsible institutions, lack of monitoring and evaluation coupled with the absence of credible data on impact assessments are attributed to this. This is consistent with the World Bank's observation. A number of social and employment programs exist in Nigeria, but their implementation at the federal and state level is impeded by limited coverage, undefined eligibility criteria, and lack of monitoring. Now I'm going into entrepreneurship and job creation programs of the Tinubu administration. The federal government of Nigeria, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu (GCON), succeeded the foregoing policies from the previous administration. The FGN, learning from the previous experience and global trend, calibrated new policies as follows. Number 1, the National Talent Export Program, launched in May 2024, aims to position Nigeria as a global hub for talent exports and outsourcing, targeting the creation of 1 million jobs over 5 years. The program focuses on developing the Nigerian business process outsourcing (BPO) sector and facilitating the migration of skilled Nigerian professionals to meet global demands. The Renewed Hope Labor Employment and Empowerment Program (LEAP), launched in October 2024, aims to create 2.5 million jobs annually through various programs under the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment Interventions. The program focuses on skill acquisition, vocational training, and empowerment initiatives to enhance employability and support small businesses. The Investment in Digital and Creative Enterprises (IDICE) is a strategic initiative by the Nigerian government launched in 2023 to bolster the nation's digital and creative sector. With a funding of $617 million, the program aims to position Nigeria as a key player in the global digital economy by fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation among its youths. The revamped Empower scheme is undergoing a major reform aimed at equipping Nigerian youths with market-ready skills and providing financial support for entrepreneurship. By moving towards a market-driven model, The Empower scheme is positioning Nigerian youths for sustainable employment and entrepreneurship. The introduction of the financial support mechanism, such as low interest credit, will further encourage self-employment and small businesses grow, helping to reduce the country's high unemployment rates. The National Youth Skill Program. The federal government launched a 110 billion National Youth Skill Program (NYSP) aimed at reducing youth unemployment by 20% over the next 5 years. The NYSP will provide skills training and financial support to 11 key sectors vital to Nigeria's development, including agriculture, renewable energy, and the digital economy. This program aims to bridge the gap between skills, training, and financial support, providing holistic solutions that include mentorship, financial backing, and industry partnerships. Looking at the global trends in digital entrepreneurship, an emerging trend in the global digital business model is the evolution of startup companies to unicorns. A unicorn is a privately owned company with a valuation of over $1 billion. Key hallmarks of unicorn are high technology drive and a disruptive impact in business niche. Uber, for example, is a unicorn brought by innovation by changing the way people commute. The global unicorn industry is dominated by software companies. Unicorns are recognized as agents of rapid economic development, job creation, and quality service provision, and are considered as part of indices for measuring innovation and economic prosperity of nation states. Nigeria is recognized as one of the key players of the global unicorn dynamics. Globally, it is ranked 38 out of 133 economies based on the index of unicorn valuation as a percentage of GDP. This performance was partially ascribed to strengthen the indicators of venture capital recipients and value of venture capital received. Nigeria has 4 successful unicorns. InterSwitch, founded in Lagos 2002, offers payment across sectors in Nigeria. It has reached a valuation of $1 billion in November 2019. Flutterwave, founded in 2016 in San Francisco, USA, it offers a service payment sector for Nigeria. It has reached a valuation of $3 billion in February 2022. OPay, founded in 2018 in Lagos, Nigeria, it offers services in payment sector of Nigeria. It has reached a valuation of $2.7 billion as at April 2024. Mesa, founded in 2014 in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, it offers services of electronics, e-commerce, smart home systems, and the likes in Nigeria with a valuation of $1 billion as at June 2022. Nigeria is estimated to have over 800 startups, companies such as GG, TeamApt, Phonics, Move, AutoCheck, and so many more, a number of which have the potential to becoming unicorns. The federal government of Nigeria should continue to provide a favorable digital economy ecosystem for this sector, specifically improvement in access to technology, refinement of legislation, and institution services that will encourage local and attract digital entrepreneurs across the globe to invest in our economy is required. In this context, it is pertinent to decipher on the groundbreaking achievement of Estonia. This experienced a boom in its new business density, which is NDB, from 13.2 in 2006 to 24.3 in 2022, being the highest level in the world. This followed reforms through Estonia e-residence policy that created a favorable ecosystem for digital entrepreneurs. Unicorns such as Skype, Wise, Playtech, Pipedrive, Bolt all started from Estonia. Looking at the global trends in social entrepreneurship is an existing concept that is receiving global attention due to its prosperity of addressing social and environmental challenges of or communities along sustainable development goals. Global Innovation Index defines social entrepreneurship as the process of developing and implementing innovative organizational models to address social or environmental challenges with emphasis on altruistic goals over profits. It is identified as an important tool for addressing youth unemployment by engaging them into developing solutions and provide opportunities for social inclusion. Funding for social entrepreneurship can come from philanthropy, government, public-private partnership, and from social entrepreneurs. It was estimated that 10 to 11 million social entrepreneurs and up to 30 million social entrepreneurs around the globe, contributing to almost 2 trillion to global GDP. Noting these facts, and the United Nations General Assembly of 2023 passed a resolution urging member states and financial institutions to enhance support for social entrepreneurship. Specific examples of successful social entrepreneurship programs include Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committee, BUK, Ultra Poor Graduation, and the Tony Elumelu Foundation. While BUK was adopted in Asia and South American countries as a model for alleviation poverty and inequality, the Tony Elumelu Foundation philanthropy provides $100 million to empower 10,000 African youths over the period of 10 years. The British Council Entrepreneurship Survey in Nigeria economy indicated low-level presence in Nigeria. This was corroborated by the sources, which concluded only 3.15% of Nigeria enterprises are social enterprises. There is lack of coherent legal and institutional framework dedicated to social entrepreneurship. Thus, the federal government of Nigeria should address these gaps and support the burgeoning of this sector, and also consider its relevance to our current socio-economic challenges. Now going into the research and innovation sector, R&D are the indispensable tool for human progress. R&D activity is directly correlated with prosperity of nation states. It forms part of the indices comparing state of human development and economic status nations. The Nigerian R&D sector is dominated by public sector investment, represented by higher education and research institutions spread across different sectors of the economy. Universities are the key drivers of the global R&D and are unique in their role of combining human capital development with research and innovation. Their impact goes beyond borders and reach humanity across the world. The outbreak of COVID-19 has transformed universities into institutions of the global world. Fudan University in Shanghai, Hangzhou University of Science and Technology, and the University of Sydney, in collaboration with other research institutions and hospitals, were the first to sequence the COVID-19 that set the stage for research and diagnostic development in less than 2 weeks. Johns Hopkins University supported the world with epidemiological updates, while Oxford University collaborated with AstraZeneca in developing COVID-19 vaccines. Research and development in Nigerian universities. Nigeria has a total of 274 universities comprising of 63 federal, 62 states, and 148 private universities. These institutions are the major contributors of the production of high-level manpower that support the national economy and beyond. The Nigerian university system is facing challenges including funding shortage, frequent industrial disharmony, low carrying capacity, and global competitiveness, amongst others. Budgetary allocations are the major sources of funding for public universities. Review of the federal government of Nigeria appropriation indicated that the university funding is dominated by recurring expenditure comprising largely of professional costs and marginal overhead grants. Funding of research is slow or even absent for the most of the universities. Similar trend is seen in research institutes. It is important to recognize the Nigerian University, and additional public funding through TED Fund, PTDF, and other federal parastatals. The national and international granting bodies. These streams of funding have largely supported intensive research activity and PhD level manpower development of universities across the globe. These interventions have possibly impacted on the intellectual productivity and the global competitiveness of the Nigerian University. Today, the Nigerian University features on global ranking on the best universities, and it is gratifying to note that Bayero University appears in several rankings of the best universities, including Times Higher Education. Recommendation for revamping research and innovation capacity of Nigerian universities. To revamp the research and innovation capacity of Nigerian universities, stakeholders must do the following. 1. Work towards adopting global best practices in postgraduate training in order to enhance brain drain by attracting foreign students and accessing the global higher degree markets estimated at $300 billion. Direct research agenda to align with global consensus such as the SDG and climate change in order to enable access to specific grants from the global pool. Government through appropriation to allocate reasonable resources to research and development. Institute's dynamic curriculum system that will integrate multi, intra, and transdisciplinary with the flexibility to respond to changing requirements of society and global challenges. Invest intellectual resources in emerging technologies for the fourth industrial revolution, including but not limited to artificial intelligence, machine learning, material science and nanotechnology, synthetic biology, stem cell technology, and so on. Institute a policy that will establish relationship and knowledge transfer through interaction between universities, government, industry, the civil society, and the natural environment to evolve the new concept of quadruple and quintuple helix, respectively. Provide resources to enable international collaboration as a means of access to advanced facilities, new skills, grants, visibility, and global reputation. Establish innovation units that will coordinate translation of research results into innovation and intellectual property, including provision of proof of concept funding. Enabling funding for establishment of companies from products of innovation. Now we dive into the NACENI's contribution in development and innovation. The National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NACENI, is the only purposely built agency of the federal government of Nigeria under the presidency whose mandate include nurturing an appropriate and dynamic science and engineering infrastructure base for achieving home-initiated and home-sustained industrialization for Nigeria. The mandate of the agency includes the development of relevant processes, capital goods, and equipment necessary for job creation, national economic well-being, and progress. The agency took deliberate interest in key areas of science and engineering development because any nation that aspires to attain socio-economic transformation must definitely invest in them in order to engender competition. The agency has undertaken several pioneering research projects that have yet to be fully developed or commercialized, and here are some examples. The Smart Prepaid Meter. The agency has designed a prepaid meter intended to improve electricity billing and consumption monitoring. In March 2022, NACENI signed an MOU with MOMAS to develop and produce these meters, aiming to address the metering gap in the power sector. Development of local drones. NACENI is collaborating with the National Space Research and Development Agency to design, fabricate drones and rockets, thereby developing local capacities. This will save the country the hassle of importing foreign products, thereby conserving foreign exchange in a huge amount. This partnership aims to reduce Nigeria's reliance on imported high-tech equipment used in space technology. Electric vehicle and clean transport. NACENI has developed electric keke napep, a zero-emission vehicle designed to improve air quality, reduce operating costs for drivers, This initiative aligns with the agency's broader plan to convert millions of vehicles from petrol and diesel to electric and compressed natural gas alternatives, promoting cleaner transportation across Nigeria. However, the project has faced challenges such as unstable economies, fluctuating currencies, corruption, and insufficient funding, which hindered its progress. NASENI Irrigation Infrastructure, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, is finalizing preparation to launch Irrigate Nigeria projects sometime by end of this month. A groundbreaking initiative aimed at enhancing mechanized farming and enabling at least 3 farming cycles annually. The project also focuses on promoting the use of locally made tools for farming and post-harvesting process, in addition to collaboration with Indonesia to establish a coal fertilizer factory in Kano, which also will soon be launched, as well as partnering with the Czech Republic to assemble affordable mini tractors to ensuring accessibility for small-scale farmers who cannot afford large tractors. The current look and trend in NASENI is as follows. Inheriting an institution that developed but archived technologies required for national development, we work audaciously in focusing the activities and outlook of the agency to align with what we call the Triple C: collaboration, creation, and commercialization towards implementable development-oriented milestones. This includes, amongst others, collaboration is at the center of NASENI's strategy. By teaming up with organizations like AfriLabs, the agency has launched the NASENI Innovation Hub, providing resources and infrastructure to develop Nigerian innovators. Also, NASENI is partnered with PICTT to launch a program called Delta, Developing Engineering Leaders Through Her, that creates opportunities for women in engineering by attracting and supporting innovative engineering ideas. Both have been effective enablers under this leadership. Creation. From the creation perspective, NASENI focuses on developing indigenous technology and equipping individuals with needed skills. This innovation helps young entrepreneurs transform ideas into scalable businesses, while skill development programs train youths in areas like electrical installation and maintenance. By fostering innovation at the grassroots level, NASENI is creating a pipeline of skilled individuals and solutions tailored to Nigeria's technological and industrial needs. Commercialization. Great ideas are only valuable when they make it to the markets, and that's where commercialization comes in. NASENI provides startup tools, grants, and accelerated programs to help innovators bring their products to life. By supporting local businesses, creating jobs, and bolstering technological exports, NASENI ensures that innovation leads to real economic impact. Another program that is very dear to our hearts is the Asset Restoration Program, dedicated to partnering with public institutions to refurbish, modernize redundant operational assets. As part of these efforts, NASENI has discovered over 5,000 redundant tractors across the country, but more are being purchased. We are working with stakeholders in repairing these implements and putting them back to service, provision, and conserve resources. Already, we have recovered close to 1,000 tractors in Maiduguri, and we will be launching them soon. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, as part of our commitment outlined above, NASENI has launched 2 major projects in Bayero University Kano. Sustainable and Emerging Technology Institute, SETI. This is a project that will occupy 30 hectares of land at BUK campus. It involves construction of the institute and equipping with state-of-the-art skills required, state-of-the-art facility, various innovation hubs, including artificial intelligence hub and a power supply system. An agri-preneurship training hub. This is a project that will occupy 10 hectares of BUK land at the old campus, and it will be equipped with modern greenhouse, soilless farming, tissue culture. I am pleased to announce that both work has already commenced, and this morning the VC told me that they are moving at a pace that wasn't expected. To the graduates, here are my words of wisdom for you as you navigate your journey to the next stage of life. It is important to share 5 short lessons that I've learned on my journey. Every moment can be an opportunity to learn and seek out opportunities. Start where you are with what you have. You have skills and knowledge that are of value, but you need to discover them. Have a vision of where you want to go, but also be flexible and open to details. Age is just a number. You can achieve great things at any age. But at the same time, beware of the arrogance of youth. There is a value to be tapped from experience. Do not think you know everything. Do not assume that those who have gone ahead do not know what they are doing. Your network will make a difference in your journey, but focus on building and expanding that network by demonstrating the value you bring to people, projects, and organizations. To paraphrase the timeless words of John F. Kennedy, ask not what can be done for you, instead ask what you can do for others. What value you bring. I am where I am today because of the value that I demonstrated in the area of technology, both for profits and for non-profits. Never stop investing time and resources in self-development. Do not disregard the public sector. Many young people look at politics and governance as something to be disdained or avoided or attacked. This is wrong and self-defeating approach. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria has all the requirements to realize its full potential of becoming a global leading player. This is evident from the recognition and enrollment of the country as a BRICS partner and its record of achievement in digital entrepreneurship, in which 4 companies attracting a valuation equivalent to 0.5 of the GDP amongst others. For this to happen, reforms and recalibration of policies away from the way we conduct our operations must be achieved. It is my considered opinion that for nations' entrepreneurship policies to succeed and transform Nigeria's demography into a global public good, the culture of laziness, lack of self-determinations, impatience, lack of perseverance, the desire to become rich without effort, social media addiction, dishonesty, and the consumption of narcotics, especially among the youth, must be effectively addressed. I will leave you with this short saying from Martin Luther King Jr. Human progress is neither automatic or inevitable. Thank you everyone for inviting me, and thank you for listening.